Yo, yo, yo. All right. So we're gonna try this. I have a Rode mic, the Rode mic I use for the other videos. We'll see if this works. In the meantime, oh, hey, sometimes you gotta understand. Every time I see y'all, it has to talk about Canva. Okay, so one thing that I haven't done is I've not. I want to get creative with how I'm doing some of the videos. Now, some of the like a lot of them are going to be like, "Hey, work beside me," because I think that it could be helpful to do that, but also have some of these different videos around specific things. And so, and one thing that's been interesting is like, as I said in my last video, where uh, my code got kind of corrupted by my two rival agents, it feels like, um, is that I've now constructed my my Gen Prompt framework doc in a specific way that I think I'll go forward. One is front end user stories, two is back end user stories, three is database and API, and four is like ad hoc features and prompt, just so I can use the ad hoc features and prompts just so I don't lose the context as I'm building with Bolt and for the back end server deployment with Claude. Um, I need to make sure that when they lose the context, like I don't lose the context. And so that's what I found with the backend and then the database and APIs because I've had to delete a couple of videos because I exposed my API keys on here. And some of these projects I plan on commercializing, but not like I'm trying to start a company or anything. Other ones I think could be something I could sell for, five figures, maybe six figures or something like that, and or may start a company from. And so I want to make sure I don't keep accidentally exposing my API keys, which I still might because sometimes I click in and the code is like right on top of it. Okay, so in here, what we're going to do now for this one, because I just got this I've been trying to use browser based, had to delete that. I don't know what was going on with their API key or SDK, but Claude nor OpenAI could figure out how to make it work. So I switched to another company called Hyperbrowser, which does essentially the same thing. It allows for AI to basically have its own computer browser. So the same way that I have Chrome open right now, these tools allow AI to develop their own browser. And so, one of the key unique identifiers for what we're trying to build with Founder PR is, oh, I'm logged out. Let's see if I can see if I logged in anywhere. Okay, I'm not. Is something that will be unique and something that I might use in the future, which is instead of me having to build out the journalists, I want other people to build it out for me because usually when people are coming to something like this, like a directory, they're coming because I have the emails or I have the journalists that they're looking for. And I want our users to supply that. And I want them to supply in a very easy way. And that is just enter in the article URL of the journalist that you want to reach out to. So usually when you're searching for something about, like if I'm searching for this, I'll say, PR platforms for startup founders. This is how I would find journalists to reach out to. I go to news, and that Bessemer is a VC fund, so I wouldn't use them. But I might use. Oh, that's not good. Three lessons from startup PR from Burger King's. Okay, so I might go through some of these like founder led marketing. They mentioned PR, and I might go here, and then I'll go down. And I'll see Marie Dowling, and then I will try and figure out like where she is or what her email is, and I would send an email, and it would be or I'd do Cherie Brooke Luo, butcher their names. Sorry, Cherie. Um, but so I would have like these different like ways of doing things that then I would go into Overloop, find our email or try to find our email, and then I'd get all the information and I put it in a Google spreadsheet, and then I would come out and then I would create a pitch, right? This I want to be not automated, but I want to be very simple because I think one thing that could be really interesting is that as more people add journalists' emails, um, if a journalist is used multiple times with different articles, as we build out the bio of what the journalist likes to write about, each article that is added to their journalist profile will better inform what the pitch should be. So it's almost like, when you're getting your first iPhone and you're trying to do the Face ID and you have to rotate your face around and then you have to go the other way and rotate your face around again. It's basically taking little small pictures of you, like hundreds of pictures of you to create some type of like biometric scan of your face. We want to do the same thing to figure out how people like to be pitched. And so if like five founders add uh, the same like different URLs, but the same journalists, it'll kind of help us frame out what kind of pitches they would like to be in. And so that's pretty unique. And then also, eventually, people will be like, when they go into search, they'll be like, we'll do natural language programming, or natural language processing. I think that's what NLP stands for. I feel like I'm about to sneeze. I'm definitely about to sneeze. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm not going to pause because if I pause, Canva will delete the video. So excuse me. Maybe I can cut that out later. Can I mark that? Okay. I can't believe this. 6 minutes. Okay. Okay. So with that, what this application will help you do is it'll essentially give, if I say, hey, I want you to go to this website, this URL that they just put in, I want you to crawl it for the name of the person. I want you to crawl it for the title, the publication, the URL, or the domain. I want you to crawl it for the content. Eventually, what will happen is that people will be able to come in, and right now it's just name, publication, topic. But again, she'll eventually be like, I want journalists who's written about OpenAI in a negative light, that it's going to take people's jobs. And maybe I'm kind of trying to counterposition myself against OpenAI. I would then like get a list of all those journalists that have written about it, and I would star them, which adds them to the pitch list. And in the pitch list, you essentially get the ability to press this button right here. And if you press that button, it will automatically create a pitch for you that's custom based off of all of your information that you put in here. So this gives it context. This gives it another context because we're going to summarize all the articles that they've written and attach it to their profile. And then from here, you click this button and it'll combine the search and the My Company into a pitch. And this will be like a Kanban type platform. I haven't really worked on it too heavily yet. So anyways, all I have to say is like, that's what this is going to be. And I just found Hyperbrowser. We just scraped our first website. We weren't able to pull down the journalist's name because it's kind of confusing because not everyone says by or author or journalist or, I got to figure out how to like help them tag that information. And so yeah, that's where we are. And for this video, I would like to work on the UI because we still have some back end work to do. And I really would like to get this out. So we're going to work on the UI a little bit more. And so from here, what I think I would like is, I think I would like it to say, My Company. So yeah, this is going to be an interesting layout because I'm not doing okay. What's this button do? Okay. Let's just do some UI stuff. Okay. Uh, in the sign in and create your account modal, there is a icon in addition to founder PR. You I removed it from up here, so we're gonna remove that. So all the things I'm doing now are just basically like you could see it as cosmetic, but I look at it as experience. Everything from how people sign up to how people don't sign up is all experience. Some things we'll do. So instead of so we might do things that are like instead of create your account and put the form say get more. So we got to make sure we have diffs on because I'm about to send a lot of tokens. It's want more press coverage. Like I currently don't like this styling, so I'm gonna go and try and find a better like UI. Um, I also know that I want to remove. A storm coming. So I'm going to take this part because I don't need a picture. So um, let's see. So we're going to remove the image. You remove the image. Um, so that's ugly. We're essentially just going to go through the ugly stuff right now. Topics, location. Can you remove the location as a filtering mechanism in the search page? Get a journalist email. Okay, so now I'm going to change. I got to figure out what to say that because that's not really like. Let's remove advanced search. Advanced filters because we don't have advanced filters yet. Um, but eventually we might, but we can add that later, like search by company or a search by company mentioned or a search by year article was written. Like we can probably do stuff like that in the future, but not right now. We're not going to work on that. Search page. So we're going to remove that. We don't have a pitch yet. Can I? Probably can't do a pitch yet. Okay, so yeah, just the. So I'm gonna use ChatGPT for this to help me figure out like how best to throw out like the better designs. All right, so we're just going to go through, see if I can find. Obviously, these people are going to self congratulate, but there might be some that are actually good. That's pretty good. So now we're just trying to get some inspiration. Okay, it's clean. Okay, okay. It's kind of doing too much. So I don't like how it serves a brand new page. Okay, I like that. That's very like Mac oriented. I'm not mad at that. I think it should be really clean. This colorful. This is this person used softer. That's funny. I didn't even look down here and see that. I could just look at how these buttons work and be like, I've built with software before. I know exactly what that is. That's funny. Sometimes you build for long enough and you kind of spot things. Okay, I don't like how this is laid out. Okay, okay. So I think what I might do. This is card. Um, I really prefer on these types of things to not go off of instinct because I need like some baseline for like font or font slash typography, like colors. Like I just want like a good feel. So how would I do this? See if we could find yeah something like something cool, something that's just like cool and interesting. We're not going to do that. It's visual, directory, glide. I don't like that. Okay, we're getting some ideas. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Hmm. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this really quickly. I'm gonna talk to ChatGPT for a second, and you guys are gonna see how I use it to kind of help with a little bit of stuff. So I'm gonna say. Hi, I would like to build a UI and somewhat like a brand style guide for Founder PR. I think what we're going for is something that's really clean. We also want to make sure that we have a very clear topography strategy for the brand guide. We only want to use Google fonts. We don't want to pay for any custom fonts or create any custom fonts. We also want to make use of white space a little bit. And then on top of that, we want to make use of like shadows and things of that sort. And so the colors of the application, I would love to pop, but I also want it to be like something that's very straightforward because technically it is more like it's not technically, it has a directory component. So we don't want it to be too edgy, but we also don't want it to be lame. We don't want it to be really stagnant. We want it to have a design that looks like something that is cutting edge and kind of futuristic for what we're trying to build here. And even though it is essentially a self serving PR agency to a degree, where founders can come in and like get their stories heard and pitch their stories in a meaningful way. We really also want to make sure that everything is still feels like it's on the forefront of technology. So it's going to have some duality to it. But I think that if we can strike the chord really well, it'll be a very beautiful application that people will want to come back to. And also because the experience of it will be so hopefully really novel and intuitive using artificial intelligence and some other aspects of marketing and combining different ideas and putting them together. I would really love for there to be a lot of different, um, like cool, maybe not animations, but really just wow moments. So, can you create a strategy as well as like include specific things that we should include the code because we're using bolt.new to create the front end. So if you have some design prompts that you want to give to it that really speak to what we're trying to build, please do that as well. So that is what it sounds like sometimes. So I just recorded a voice note for it, because sometimes the exposition that you have when you're talking is different than what you would do when you were typing. And so that's sometimes what I do when I don't know exactly what I want, but I do know kind of like the feel or the vibe that I want. I can just take everything it gives me, plug it right into Bolt, and then that gives Bolt some places to build off of. It's never going to go completely in the right direction, but it might go in a direction that I really like, and I can build on top of that. And so sometimes I'll take screenshots. Sometimes I'll just use the links. Sometimes I'll do like I have really a lot of different strategies for what I'm trying to build. Um, but I didn't see anything that I was really excited about. But like this right here, what they're doing with their animations, I think there's something there that we can do. Um, it's kind of funny. Like you can really do anything. You just have to figure out how to communicate it. OpenAI is done. So we're gonna hop in to that program. There it is, and we're gonna give Bolt some of this. Okay, let's just go ahead and give it all of this, and then we can always reel it back. Hmm. Okay, that's a little bit too prescriptive, so we're probably not gonna go there. Maybe we'll stop there. Give me a good prompt that will serve as a agency like brief creative brief for what we are trying to achieve from the designs. um, so I'm going to use this, and then I'm going to use this. Love that. I'm going to remove some of that because I don't want to get into the landing page quite yet. So I'm going to do. I usually don't do prompts this large unless I really don't care about the outcome. Um, I love that high end editorial brand, intelligent tech, cool. Ooh, love that. Love that. Compelling hero section. I don't think we need that right now. AI, you're kind of. I think we need that. That's a little bit, again, it's going to change like some of the words that we put up there. I'm going to change that. I want it to be a little plain. It's for the voice of what we're trying to build. Are you ready? See what happens here. So we're taking this as a design. See, look, a new feature is a design system. So we're taking this as a design system, and then we will essentially, we should probably copy that actually. I think about it. Let's go ahead and copy that. Just go ahead and copy that in there so we can make sure that we understand what we told it to do. Sometimes that's where you can lose context. You forget what you told it to do, and that's what this thing is really good for. All right, let's see what it comes up with. I think this could be really interesting. I'm not sure though. And then we'll probably end the video right there because I think we're coming up on time. I try not to make these like over 30 minutes. Okay, let's see what happens. Fingers crossed. And then we'll get, okay, don't like that these two are different. Is that blinking? I mean, it's a little much. It's a little much. I guess I need to log in. Okay, so don't like that they didn't even change that. They didn't really update that. They didn't really update that. Okay. So we got a lot of work to do, is what I'm seeing. They didn't really change anything. Um, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna do what's that look like? Okay. Okay, cool. All right, so basically let's just go thing for thing, right? On the my company page. User clicks the edit icon, see an animation of the editable text field sliding into view. Then when they click save, a gradient animation appears for 2 to 3 seconds. That shows that will indicate that they have just saved new information. Gradient animation appears around the text field that they just saved. When they hover over the save button after clicking the edit button for any of the fields. The edit pencil icon disappears. While editing a field in edit mode, the on the field as the person is typing needs to not happen. That's so ugly. This little thing that goes around. There should be a light shadow to the field as they are adding it enough to indicate that they are adding that field and another. Okay, what else do we want? It's not really crazy. Cool. Let's do that right now. That'll be fine. So this is where you start getting into like, I really don't like surprising delight. I feel like it's overused, but you're kind of getting into like UI, UX work, UI and UX work. It's kind of like if I'm not a designer, but if I were to explain the difference, I would say like UI is like kind of like what they're looking at, and UX actually is like what happens when they interact with it. So their experience of it. I know like a bunch of formal people might disagree with me or whatever, but it's just like how I feel about it. So, okay, it must not be finished because it didn't do any of the edits. Let's see. Yep, still going. All right, there we go. That's done. I did say when it hovers, done. So don't like that. Let's take this and change it and go like for it to disappear when the user is editing the field, not just when the user is hovering over safe. Still don't like that the user is editing the text field. There is a dark black, what would you call it? What's that called? I know what it is when you're editing it. It's like when it's cell, dark black. I don't know what it's called. A bracket around the text. I know it's to show the user that they are editing a specific field, but I would rather better it be a slight shadow instead because it's more subtle. Okay. All right, we're gonna do that. I'm gonna shut off this video because I gotta upload this like tonight so that we get a video for today. So see ya.